For today's episode, I'm upstairs at Hardback Cafe in downtown Gainesville, a very supportive venue for the local music scene and a place for new bands to get on stage. I'm enjoying a Stella Artois, a classic beer in my opinion, and one that I've been drinking for years as my simple go-to beer. My guest today is the local band Sports Reference, a rockin' band that works hard on stage and for our local music scene. We popped a few, scooted into a booth, and had a brief conversation about the band, Gainesville music, and their upcoming releases. I'm Ian Mikish, and this is Bards in Bars Getting Beer. What's up, people of the internet? I'm Ian Mikish for Level to the Room. I'm here with Joey and Jeremy from Sports Reference. How are you doing, guys?
We're doing well.
Doing very well.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
Very tired, but we're here, so.
Tired? Why are you tired?
We had a bunch of band practices today. It seems like that's all we do anymore.
Band practice and work.
Yeah.
That's it. That's my life.
That's the life of most people I know, actually, is I go and I work my day job and then, all right, I'm also an artist at night, so I have to go do this. So you're working like 14, 16-hour days, but like, you're only getting paid for 8 of it.
I was going to say, you're only getting paid 8, but that's definitely another job.
Yeah,
absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Goes into your sleep time.
True. So why don't you guys start off telling us a little bit about the band, how it got started, a little about yourselves.
Our main band, me and Joey's main band, is Sports Reference, and we actually, what was it, I don't know, a year and a half ago?
Probably, yeah.
We relocated here to Gainesville, where we were living in Brunswick, Georgia before that, and had started the band there, but relocated here and have really been trying to integrate ourselves into the scene. But it's really only been about a year and a half that the band has existed in Gainesville.
We started when we became roommates. That's right. At a chance.
Just by happenstance.
Sort of randomly, yeah. And we both knew we played. He's in another band called Machinist, and they had been playing. He had just gotten back from a U.S. tour or something like that. And we were like, well, maybe we should try and write some stuff together. And we ended up writing 4 songs. And that was about the time that Jeremy was deciding to move here to Gainesville. So we just kind of hurried up, got the songs written, went to the studio, originally to cut demos, and we ended up actually putting that out as an EP because we liked the production quality so much.
Yeah, it was essentially we were going to record because we didn't know if the band would continue to exist because I was moving and he was staying. So we were like, let's get these songs done. We really like them. We like where this band is. So even if it doesn't exist after this, we have these demos and we can put them out in the world or whatever. And then, but as fate turns it, he ended up moving here a couple months later and we became a real band again, I guess.
Yeah.
Cool. Why'd you guys move down to Gainesville? Or out of all the cities in America, why'd you choose Gainesville?
The music scene here is one of a kind, as you guys know, and basically it was just change the scenery, let's get down there. I had lived in Valdosta, Georgia before I lived in Brunswick, Georgia, and that's only an hour and a half north of here, so I'd been here a bunch for fest and stuff. Yeah. So we moved here and just, I knew a couple people. I knew the band Boyfriend Materials from here. I knew them, and I knew Frameworks from playing shows for a long time with those bands, and so moved here, became friends with them, and convinced Joey to move down here.
Cool. As far as Sports Reference, you guys put out a record in the spring of 2016, Blue Room.
Yes.
Pop punk, super fun, dancey, but also has a really cool lyric message. Are you guys writing or doing anything new in 2017 or?
Yeah, Joey.
We actually have a handful of songs that we've written already that we are playing in our live show, but we don't have them really recorded anywhere. We're thinking about recording them for real and either doing a split with a band or putting out another EP, but actually doing it the way, putting time in it we want to, actually trying to make it something that we're really, really proud of, even though we are super proud of Blue Room and how it turned out, but we want to work towards doing something even better.
Actually, we added another member into the band because before it was only it was the two of us writing everything and doing everything. We had a friend of mine play bass on the record, but he wrote the bass parts. But now we have a third person with input coming in, and so we're it's just like I said, it's more fleshed out than the old songs, I guess.
Cool. Speaking of writing, how do you guys write your music? I mean, it's just listening to Blue Room and stuff. It sounds like just like classic good pop punk, right? And that being said, Gainesville is like a scene for that all day, every day. How do you guys go and like put your own little spin on it?
As far as actually writing our songs, it is so 50-50.
Oh, yeah.
Like half the lyrics are mine, half the lyrics are his. The only thing we usually stick to is our instruments. Like, well, I'll write the guitar, he'll write the drums.
However, I will come up with maybe a guitar like framework. Like I won't come up with the riff, but I'll be like, okay, maybe like a slower part or a faster part, and like do it in this chunk. And he'll be like, okay, what about like maybe a punky beat here or a slower beat here? So even though like he's not writing the drums, he'll help me like, but then I'll do the same thing for him. And then again, like you said, like he's the main vocalist, but I do a lot of backup vocals. But like for Blue Room, he wrote half the lyrics and I wrote half the lyrics.
Yeah.
Cool. As far as like sports reference tours, is there one in the works? Is there one coming up?
Yes, there is.
There is one in the works, actually. We have one set for early July, and our goal is to play Philadelphia and my hometown, Charleston, West Virginia. So, which is where I grew up. And so basically we're going to do 10 or 11 days, go up the East Coast, head over and come back, which will be really nice because my favorite part about touring is going places I've never been and seeing towns that I would never usually see. And Philadelphia is one of those places, and I'm very excited for that.
Philly's awesome. What's your guys' favorite, like, you may have a different story, but like, since you guys have both been on tour, what's your favorite city you guys have played on tour?
Ooh, that's a good question.
That's a really good question. I really enjoyed Houston.
Christmas Island House?
Yeah, the Christmas Island House in Houston. We were there on our last tour, which was in February. Yeah, and we've just, the people who owned the house that we played at actually let us ended up staying there. Super hospitable. The city was really cool. Like we went, they had this like big like drainage river thing, but it had like huge skateboarding banks. So like we were with this band who like loved to skateboard, so we were just like hanging out and filming, and it was just cool, really fun. It was a really fun spot. But like he mentioned Philadelphia. I've been there a handful of times. That city is amazing. I love playing there. I love being there. Philadelphia is almost as big as New York, but that stress level is just not there. So you get to actually enjoy being in a really big city. You get to enjoy just seeing like just the crazy stuff that's happening and the city aspect of things that you don't get in a town like Gainesville.
I really enjoyed Tampa Largo or wherever we played around that area.
But it was technically Largo, but in the Tampa area.
I really enjoyed that show. We ended up playing in, I'm not quite sure what the venue was, but it was almost like they shot movies there. It was like a small little, and they had a green screen and stuff. It was a really interesting time. Definitely one of the most interesting places I've played, and it was just cool.
I gotta say one more thing. Okay. So, in the complete opposite spectrum of like I love Philadelphia. It's an amazing city. Blah blah blah. Miami, Florida, is insane, but like I said, in the complete opposite way. My favorite tour story, and this is one of the reasons I love Miami. We were playing Churchill's Pub, and
Churchill's Pub is a great venue.
I was sitting outside the venue watching the van because that whole area is like known for bad car break-ins and stuff. So I was just watching the van, and I legitimately, this is real, it's a real story. I watched a woman stroll down the middle of the street. She was wearing a Cat in the Hat. You know what I mean? Like a really tall,
top hat thing.
She took a red Solo cup, placed it down on the street, squatted over it, and took a shit in the middle of the street.
I did not see that coming.
And it's like, but every time I'm in Miami, something weird and something just as crazy happens, and that puts Miami up there for me. But like I said, for the complete opposite reason. Yeah.
Cool, guys. So, what are you guys drinking tonight?
You go first, Joey.
Okay. Well, I'm drinking a Yingling, just a standard Yingling. It's my go-to. I'm not a huge fan of what I like to call fancy beer.
Like the craft brew scene?
Yeah, I'm just not into it. I like cheaper, more standard beers. It's what I've always drank. And this is my sort of go-to. I think it's like full-bodied enough. but also it's light enough and it's not an IPA or anything like that, because I try them all the time because I want to like them.
Yeah.
But I just don't.
I mean, I actually feel the same way, like the ales and stuff like that. It's like, it's just so easy to drink. It's like, I've been drinking for years, and it's just like soda. It's like these things are like soda to me.
Yeah.
But then you drink like a really, really like hoppy IPA or like a really dark beer, and you're just like, God, I'm like forcing this down. Like half of the beer is good. The first half of that beer is gonna be the best beer you've had all night. Then the second half of like a stout or anything like that is just gonna be like, God, I don't know if I can keep drinking tonight. Like, this is just insane. But I paid $10 for this beer, so I'm not gonna waste it.
That's a great point. See, I'd love to take a sip of a really hoppy beer or whatever the terms are, but they're not, like, if I'm gonna go out, if I'm gonna go to dinner and have a beer, it's always gonna be a Yingling, because it's just like it's like Old Faithful.
Beer. It's a classic beer. Cool. What about you, Jeremy?
Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper is the best drink in existence. I've tried them all. I've tried the knockoffs. You got Dr. Thunder. That's all right. Dr. Thunder's all right.
Pretty
Let me just say, Dr. Thunder's okay for a knockoff. But then you have Dr. Topper. Dr. Topper is shit.
I've never even heard of Dr. Topper.
Dollar General brand. It's disgusting. Don't even waste your time. Dr. Pepper. I've been drinking since I was a kid, and it's just my favorite thing. Like, we're at the Hardback here, and there's literally a running joke when I come to the bar. I'll be like, hey, can I get and everyone will be like, oh yeah, get them a sports reference, and that means Dr. Pepper. That's what that means. Like, I don't know. It's delicious. It's better than all other sodas. Cheerwine's a number 2 to Dr. Pepper.
What do you think about the the new machines at like McDonald's and stuff, to where you can get like Dr. Pepper, but you can get like extra cherry Dr. Pepper?
I do get extra cherry Dr. Pepper. Really? It's really good. I like the regular better, but like
you ever just drink cherry juice? I feel like you're just like a cherry guy.
Cherry sodas are just amazing. Like, I don't know. I just love it. Like, what's weird, what weirds me out is like you have like Mr. Pibb, and on it calls itself a spicy cherry soda, and I'm like, I don't understand what that means.
I'll drink it.
I'll drink it.
I don't drink Mr. Pibb. Mr. Pibb's a knockoff Dr. Pepper.
He didn't get his doctorate, man. It's fucked up.
Exactly. I'm drinking Stella Artois. I do know how to say that. Stella used to be my favorite beer when I turned 21 and I started drinking. I remember for like 2 months I would just drink Stella, because like I turned 21 and I went to a bar, and it was a bar in downtown Orlando called Uncle Lou's.
Oh yeah, dude, I've been there.
Yeah.
We played there. Yeah, I love that place.
And all they had was Stella, and I had it. I was like, 21st birthday, got me a Stella. I was like, this is delicious. So like, I didn't really branch out of my comfort zone.
You're like, got it on the first
try. I got my favorite beer. So I actually haven't had a Stella in like 8 months. And then when I was going to buy beer, I was like, holy crap. Like, I haven't tasted this in a while. Mm-hmm. Now that I drink it, though, it's a little disappointing.
Oh.
It's like it's a little watered down. It's a little sour.
Yeah.
Like I'm a little disappointed, Stella. What happened to the good stuff? Like, you gonna send me an email about this?
Maybe it's just a bad batch.
Maybe it is just a bad batch.
I don't know.
They only have good Stella at Uncle Lou's.
That's the only good Stella.
That's not true.
Cool. So Jeremy, you're part of Killer Robot Music Records.
Yes.
You guys have put out stuff like Sleep Patterns, Bad Habits, Vatican, but you guys haven't really put anything else out until like since 2015.
Yeah, it's...
What's like? Is there new releases coming out with Killer Robot, or what really is Killer Robot?
Killer Robot is kind of just like... It's kind of just me. I wanted a way to help my friends and bands put music out that I thought deserved for it to be out, and I wanted to help in any way I could. And I also didn't have a lot of money, so I invested in a cassette duplication machine and a cassette master stereo creator, and just started putting cassettes out for bands. And cassettes are insanely cheap, and if you ever go to a show and there's a cassette and it's on sale for more than $3, fuck that. It costs $1 to make. I promise you, I made them all myself. But anyway, so yeah, like, you listed a bunch of bands, but like at the time I put out Sleep Patterns, second record, and I consider them to be one of the best hardcore bands from Florida, period. They're amazing. Their vocalist went on to, he is now in the band Northbound. Cool. John Fraser, he's like one of my best friends, and so they're amazing. Sleep Patterns is no longer a band. One of my early releases was Jillian Carter. Jillian Carter is the most underrated band in Florida, and they're only now, I think, starting to get the recognition they deserve. So back, 5 years ago, I was trying to put out stuff for them because I was like, please, someone just listen to this band.
Incredible band.
Incredible. They're amazing, and they deserve all the success in the world. But yeah, so I was doing all that, and I was putting tapes out for bands, and I put my own bands out and stuff like that. And then my cassette duplicator broke. That is literally what happened. And I started getting really busy into my bands, more busy, and started having to put a bunch of more money in it. I never had time to get it fixed, and so it just kind of slipped by the wayside. And so what I did is I kind of just turned it into a promotion company. Like, I started booking under all my shows through Killer Robot Music, and I started attaching the name to booking as opposed to making records. However, in the future, I still want to put out records. Like I said, I don't have a lot of time with all the bands I'm in and all the stuff that I do, so it's hard to just be like, okay, now I'm making records again, and so I just book shows under the name now. That's basically what it is.
Cool, guys. So what do you guys think of the Gainesville music scene?
Alright, so what do I think about the Gainesville music scene? Well, let me start by saying it's the only place I've ever lived with an actual music scene. So that being said, I love how vast it is. I love how many places there are to play here. I love how many places there are to record here. I really like how many bands are here, and how there's these little collectives of bands that sort of just play shows together. And there's a lot of them, there's a lot of different sort of collective ideas where bands just sort of team up, and that's really kind of cool.
I think the Gainesville music scene, I think I said it earlier, is literally one of a kind. This type of atmosphere doesn't exist almost anywhere. There's pockets. There's the generic answer is Austin has a killer music scene, and stuff like that. But you have this relationship where you have the school, and then you have the downtown, and it's created so much. Just like I said, just music and bands, and because you have fresh faces coming in every couple of years, and whether or not they stick on campus or they start to come out and explore, you have new blood coming in, and it creates new bands all the time. And then you also have, the history of bands where you have huge Gainesville bands like Against Me or Hot Water Music or whatever, even recent big Gainesville bands like Frameworks that create the almost the legend of Gainesville. Right, and it's that's one of the reasons I moved here is I had come here for Fest, and I had come here for lots of shows, and music is such an integral part of my life that I need to live somewhere where music is an integral part to the city. So
cool. All right, last question.
All right.
3 favorite local bands. You guys can have the same 3 favorite local bands, but just between the 2 of you, what are your 3 favorite local bands? If they're on a bill, if they put out a record,
still existing,
still existing, okay. Yeah, still 3 favorite local bands that are still existing. If they're on a bill or they put out a record or anything, you're gonna listen to it. You're gonna go to that show. Yeah. They're just that good.
First thing that comes to my mind is a band called Poblano. That band is amazing. That band is really, really talented. They're really fun. They're new, yeah, and they're a really great. We played a show with them, not having heard them, nothing, but we're just playing a show, and was completely blown away by that band. I really, really liked. They're a very fun, sort of pop punk-esque band, sort of weird.
Top shelfy.
Yeah, kind of like a top shelf band. I really like them. Current bands.
I got one. Vagra. Okay.
Vagra.
Completely doesn't fit with Sports Reference at all, but they are one of the best punk D-beat bands in town, and they're amazing. They're really fun live. They had Daniel, who owns Aerosame, recently put out a record by them that's fantastic if you like that sort of really gross punk D-beat shit. And they're playing a show they play shows all the time, they're super fun to watch. That's definitely on my list.
I'm a big fan of a band. I guess Kindergarten Cop.
Marvin's awesome.
Yeah, but I'm a huge Poor Kid fan.
Yeah.
Huge Poor Kid fan.
Poor Kid's awesome.
But they're just not really a band.
I mean, I guess they are. They haven't officially called it quits. I don't really
true.
know.
Yeah,
That's
they
not
don't play a lot of
not
it.
my business. But I do love that band. Love that band. Always have. It was one of the first Gainesville bands I heard, not living in Gainesville, and it just blew me away. Because that's the sort of music that I like. That's just what I like.
All right. Speaking of coolest side bands, I would say probably my favorite. They're one of my favorite local bands and one of my favorite cool side bands as default is Rosemary Kennedy. I love that music. I love every single member of that band contributes in a really cool way, and they do really interesting stuff. And I don't know, like I've one of our first shows in Gainesville was with that band, and they just blew me away from the first show, and they were always been super nice, and I love that band. I wish they played more shows. They don't play enough, in my opinion.
Hello, people of the internet and the people that read level to the room. I really don't know who you are. Please text me or something. There's a lot of you, so let me know who you are. I'm here at upstairs at Hardback, one of the best and most supportive venues here in Gainesville for local music. Upstairs is awesome. They have a downstairs venue. They have an upstairs bar. I'm here with Joey and Jeremy from Sports Reference. They are playing here in a couple weeks. If you guys have anything to say, that camera, whatever you want to say to the good people of Gainesville.
All right. Continue supporting your local scene in any way you can. And also, we have, just to plug the band, we do have a show coming up here at Hardback on June 10th with a touring band. It's going to be really fun. I think also Doonies is playing. They're friends of ours. They're a really fun surf rock band, surf rock punk band, you know. We're going on tour in July. So if you're not from Gainesville and you're somewhere on the East Coast, we might be coming near you. And also, we're going to be recording a new record really soon. So please keep an eye out for that.
Cool. All right. Cheers.